couple goals to relationship from hell, and sisters that might just be sharing a little bit too much.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
So I've been seeing it a lot on my social media. Jada and Will. That's my whole timeline because Jada made a memoir discussing all her family business. I don't know why she decided to do it. And she went on the Today Show and a couple other outlets basically talking about the things that are in her memoir. And according to her and Willard, they are separated. They have been for 7 years. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew. So it's just bringing up all of this stuff about their relationship. Apparently, she didn't know why he referred to her as his wife when he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Apparently, before all of this even happened, Chris Rock heard that they were getting a divorce, and she said it was not true, but he tried to ask her out. So that might have been the reason for the slapation. There's the entanglement of 2020 with Jaden's friend August and Jada. There's the rumors that Will and Margot Robbie was a little thing once back in 2016 or 2015 or whenever they filmed Suicide Squad. So it's just a lot has been happening. Mm-hmm. And it's just nobody understands why she's still talking about it.
It's odd that they have been officially separated for that long, yet they showed up at the Oscars as a couple. So why would anybody think anything about them other than that they were a couple? And then the fact that Chris Rock had asked her out, so that was Will. That slap was about more than just the joke that was made.
It wasn't about the alopecia, y'all.
It was not about the alopecia. Yeah, it was not about that, clearly. But this kind of falls into the category of there's her version, his version, and the real version. Mm-hmm. So we are slowly but surely finding out the background information for all the crazy that was occurring around their relationship because, it's a lot.
I just wonder why she keeps talking. Like, nobody was asking about her and Will's relationship, and she just came out of nowhere and was just like,
well, hey, after the slap, their relationship got called into question a lot, so everybody was talking.
That was in 2022. We are in 2023 now.
Well, she has to stay relevant, though.
And then Chris Rock, that whole situation, apparently Chris Rock asked Jada out. And that might have been what started the slapation. Mm-hmm. And the slapation was weird to Jada, according to her, because Will had not called Jada his wife in quite some time when that happened. Okay. So, in conclusion, just to sum it all up for y'all, Jada don't like that man. She hates him.
Well, okay, so for those of you that are loyal Different World watchers, which I think my age group would be the majority,
was a loyal Different World watcher.
You also came back and watched it in its rerun iteration. So we saw kind of who Jada really loved. That whole episode of A Different World where Tupac, a.k.a. Piccolo, came to see her at college.
My man. Mm-hmm.
And was her boo. Mm-hmm. She was with the corny... very nice young man that was her boyfriend, but Tupac, who was playing the character Piccolo in that episode, was her man from back home who she really, really cared about. That was her and Will. Like, that was clearly her and Will. That was where art imitated life for real. So, and I'm not mad at Jada because...
I am. What you mean?
Well, okay, let me explain. I'm not mad at her for Tupac being the love of her life.
Also, let me pause you not to interrupt, but I forgot the Tupac situations that she recently just shared. Her and Tupac were only ever friends.
Right. Well, she's always said that.
But I don't think I even told you this. Uh-oh. Breaking news. Drum roll, please. He proposed to her. When he was in jail at one point and he was serving time, he wrote her a long letter and was basically just like he was proposing to her. But she declined the proposal because she just felt like he was having a hard time and a rough patch in his life and just like needed someone to be there for him. But he proposed. You don't propose to your friends, baby. That is not your homeboy.
Okay.
That's not your broski.
I need somebody to go get my pearls so I can clutch them. I need my pearls so I can clutch them.
Oh, also Tupac had alopecia, but that ain't got nothing to do with it.
I had never heard that. I knew that they were supposedly just friends. I also knew that they were friends that had a strong attraction to each other. And sometimes
that happens.
It happens. Sometimes you can have that person in your life that you know, okay, if we try to take it to a different place or a different level, it's not going to work. So that's understandable. Okay. But he never left her heart and her mind. His type never left her heart and her mind. I can remember when Will and Jada would be interviewed and she would talk about how initially she found Will to be corny because she was supposed to play his girlfriend on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She auditioned for that role. It ended up going to Nia Long. And when she went to audition for that role, she didn't get it because they said that she was too short, which is kind of ironic. But anyway, Will was attracted to her then. She kind of shunned him and didn't necessarily, from what she said, she didn't think that they could be a thing. Well, he pursued her and wooed her. I can remember him talking in an interview where they were making the movie Independence Day, and Vivica Fox was talking about how crazy he was about Jada and how he was flying her in to be with him because he had to be on location. He paid for a private jet to bring her to him. Like, he pursued her. Jada, I think, thought that Will was not street enough for her. She was not necessarily his type, but he won her over because he really did like her.
Because Jada had a rough upbringing. Like, she talked about in her memoir, something happened. I believe at one point she was like selling drugs on the street. Like, she had a very rough upbringing. Yeah,
she talks like she was a piece of work at
so somebody like Will that's like, he's kind of a cornball, but I think he's cute. Like, he's just a nice person.
Yeah. I mean, not to say he's without issues, because clearly he's been married before and divorced, so she was his second wife.
And allegedly, there was a rumor swirling around that he might have had an affair, which I guess at this point wouldn't have been an affair since they were separated at the time, with Margot Robbie. Maybe that's what caused the separation. I don't know. But when he did Suicide Squad, the rumor was that him and Margot Robbie were a thing.
Well, I don't know, but he seems to be a nice guy. He seems to be very sensitive, and we don't know. It could be one of those things where Jada's taking all this heat. Maybe Will has done more than what we know.
I don't know, though.
That's the point. None of us know, but what we do know is, Jada, you need to just stop talking.
I don't know why she's putting all of us in her business. Like, at this point, I'm learning information against my will. I open up Instagram and it's just like, Jada said, da-da-da-da-da.
Well, in a way, she's smart, though. She's monetizing it, as many women do. She's, as I like to say, she's Taylor Swift in the situation. She's taking something negative.
Yeah, but she's making herself look like the bad guy, though. Like, it's not a Beyonce situation where it's like, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce and now she's making an album about it and it's just like, oh, F you, like, I'm living my life and we're going to make it work. Like, she's making herself look like the villain. Well, to say, like, your husband essentially was defending you in a very public, embarrassing moment for him. He got banned from the Oscars for 10 years behind slapping Chris Rock on television. And to say, like, oh, I was surprised that he even called me a wife. Like, oh, my God.
Well, putting on my psychologist hat that I don't deserve to wear because I don't have any training, maybe that was his way of trying to bring her back into his life in a certain kind of way. Maybe that was his way of seeing her as a damsel in distress and rescuing her with the hopes that maybe they could rekindle what we did not know was a failed marriage.
But her saying that makes her seem like the bad guy. And whether she was or not, like, she's making herself seem evil. Like, she just really doesn't like this man.
And now let's allow for, we've already said that she had a rough upbringing, so that has affected her. We also know, based on interviews she has done in the past, maybe you haven't heard them, but I have, that she at one point in time liked to drink. I can remember her in an interview, her talking, like, she was saying it in a way to dissuade younger people from doing it, but she's like, I remember liking to drink, and I used to like to drink to the passing out point. So she was self-medicating at an early age. She's had a rough, we don't know psychologically what's going on with Jada.
She embarrassing the family. She need to hush.
But hurt people. She may not be able to help herself. She may not.
She can help herself and booking an interview with Hoda Kotb on the Today Show.
Well, she might not realize that that's something negative. She may think that, by speaking her truth and saying the things that she's saying, she may feel like she's clearing things up by, commenting that they're not together. Who knows? I just know that they have been trending for all the wrong reasons. And I feel bad for her kids because this is playing out in the public. And that is not a good thing. Because these kids have to live with people saying all kind of shady stuff about their parents. And even though they're famous.
Because I'm just like, how Jaden and Willow and what's the other son's name?
Trey.
How do they feel about their daddy he's just taking hit after hit at this point? Like,
well, in Trey's case, Jada is not his mom. So he may feel differently than Willow and Jaden because she is their mom. But we knew something was wrong, or at least not perfect in that household, when we saw the kids start to act out and do all the stuff that they were doing, because they have been. What did they do? Well, their style of dress has been kind of interesting and called into question.
They didn't do anything.
I think one, if not both of those kids were emancipated and so that they were considered adults, so that they could make their own legal decisions or something. I could have that wrong, but there was something about that where they were wanting to be emancipated so that they did not have to get permission, because I think it's at 16 you can do that. I believe Jaden and Willow both have asked to be emancipated when they were 16 or so. That could be just me misremembering.
I have never heard of that in my life, so I don't know.
Think so. Well, you got to Google it, because there was something about their kids, and I was kind of like, that's unusual, especially since, a lot of times kids will do that if they come from troubled homes. Kids will do that if they come from homes where there's a socioeconomic reason for them to do that.
Will Smith reveals Jaden asked to be emancipated at 15.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. My memory very seldom fails me.
But I mean, I feel like
that's 15, not even 16.
I feel like that's because they're so celebrity like.
But what's the purpose of that? Like, what's the purpose of that?
I don't.
Yeah, so there's been something weird going on for a while, and I feel sorry for Will and Jada, but I feel sorry for their kids, because
I don't really feel sorry for Jada, because she could have just kept this all in the not the streets.
But again, people talk about it a lot, and it should be discussed a lot more, and it should be addressed a lot more. Mental illness, like, there is something. She is very damaged, and there is something wrong.
Okay, but just because you're damaged is not an excuse to go out and ruin other people's lives, is my opinion. Like, keep that to yourself, babe.
Kinda, it's not an excuse, but it kind of is, because if you have something going on mentally that has not been addressed, then all of your actions, all of your behaviors are going to be governed based on your reality, based on what you...
I would tread carefully with... I feel like sometimes people can weaponize, I'm damaged, or I had a troubled childhood, or I'm mentally ill. Like, be mentally ill on your own time. Don't
and I don't want people to be in the comments saying you're not a psychologist, you don't know that. I just said that.
We're not psychologists, but
we're not psychologists. This is not medical advice. This is just my personal opinion.
In my opinion, if you're a good person, even if you're feeling bad or something has affected you, to a certain extent, it might harm other people, but not to the point that you booking TV slots to talk about your family business.
She does need to sit down. But we've seen people that were not necessarily functioning on complete battery still want to continue to talk about stuff.
But you don't book no TV slot with the Today Show to talk about your family business. And even with that,
you do it if you're the Today Show producer that got that call. Jada wants to talk. Are you saying no?
No,
Jada,
no. I'm not blaming the Today Show. Of course, if you're the Today Show, then yeah.
The average person could not book a slot on the Today Show, but she's Jada. And if you have grown up, or since her celebrity, you have had the opportunity, you have the ability to call a TV station or a TV show and say, I want to come on. If you are spiraling, or if you're in a situation where you feel like you got something to say, nothing in you is going to say, no, you need to sit and evaluate. You need to sit and think about, what's really going on here. No. If you've done everything in front of the camera, you do everything in front of the camera.
I doubt that she dialed the number herself. Jada has a manager.
She
had a publisher. She had an editor for her book.
Publicist?
No, a publisher for her memoir.
Oh, yeah, for the memoir.
She had a publisher, an editor for there were steps that it had to be taken in order to get all of that out.
All of those people are revenue-driven creatures. They are not thinking about what's best for Jada. They're thinking about how can they monetize whatever deal that they have with Jada. So, kind of off, but also on topic. Be careful who you surround yourself with, because Jada's mom, her publicist, her manager, some of those people need to be having a talk with her and making sure she's okay, as opposed to continuing to book with Today Show and talk shows and make money off of the pain of this whole family. Because it's not just Jada and Will, it's the kids, it's everybody that's in their lives.
And I'm wondering too, did she tell Will she was, since they're separated, I'm assuming they don't live together or lack some form of communication. If they're not a married couple, their kids are grown, there's no reason for them to talk to each other. Did she say, hey, Willard, if you will, because that's his real name. Hey Willard, I'm gonna go on the Today Show and I'm gonna reveal to everyone that we've been separated for 7 years, and I'm gonna reveal to everyone that I low-key am still in love with Tupac, and I'm gonna reveal to everyone that I was surprised you called me your wife at the Oscar. Like, did she like?
If she had done that, what was he gonna say? He couldn't stop her.
But like, I just feel like if I was him, like I'm ready to jump off a cliff at this point. Like, dang, what else is there to say? Like,
and then for her to say, "Well, we've been separated for 7 years or 6 years, however many years it's been." Y'all walked into the Oscars together. Like y'all always have, since y'all have been a famous couple. So nobody had any reason to suspect or believe or think that y'all were anything other than still a couple.
Exactly. So it's just weird for her to come out and say the whole wife thing too, because it's like, obviously, even if he didn't really feel that, that's how y'all were presenting to the public when y'all came there together.
And if y'all are just separated but not divorced, you are still his wife.
Exactly.
Like, so you are still his wife.
It's giving sneak diss. It's giving subtle jab. Like, she don't like him. Well, and everything is so in the public eye. Everybody got cameras on them. Like, it's just, they need to.
Let us all just let the praying part of the church say a prayer for them. If you don't pray, if you meditate, send out some good vibes, whatever, because they need it. And I hate to see someone self-destruct, and I absolutely hate to see a family destroyed because somebody is not. And they were couple
goals for so long. J. Cole had them in his song.
And some of why they had
that Jada and Will love, that's no more.
Yeah, some of why they had to keep it a secret was because in their earlier interviews, Jada specifically said divorce was not an option for them because she was a child of divorce and how it traumatized her and how she felt out of place and, in her, I think it was her father's home when she would go to visit. So they proclaimed at the beginning of their union that divorce was not an option. So that's some of why I guess she did not want to have to eat those words.
Well, it's not a divorce on paper, but it's a divorce in every other sense of the word. So
what she should have said was cheating was not an option, and doing
and
things
entanglement is not an option.
Entanglements are not an option. She said
going
divorce
with my son's
was not
friend
an option.
is not an option.
Yeah, you can do all of the things she's done and still not be divorced. So like Jada, speak it into existence. Next time.
Because people in the comments like to get snippety. I don't know Jada. Me and Jada is not. I don't know her. I don't know that lady. So all of this is
just our opinion. And for those people, this is not clout chasing. This is discussing.
This is not clout chasing, and this is not a newspaper. So for people being like, "Oh my God, you said you're a journalist and you're doing a podcast and you're talking about celebrity," yes, because I can talk. Like, oh my gosh, excuse me for having a degree.
In the words of my friend in my head, Tabitha Brown, because that's our business.
Period. Mm-hmm. So let me put y'all on to something that's more positive than Jada and Will in their little situation. But as y'all can notice, I got a new phone.
Oh my goodness.
And it's pink and it makes me happy. Ignore the black part of this because this is like the screen, like this is all a screen protector, and I hate that this is black because it throws it off. Mm-hmm. But it's pink. Oh my God. And also the camera, chef's kiss. I took a photo at night. Like y'all iPhone users, y'all know sometimes when y'all take a selfie at night and the lighting might not be that great and you quickly just doing a little whatever. Sometimes it comes out good. Sometimes it comes out a little grainy, or the lighting just is off. It's not giving. This phone gives, and this is not the iPhone Pro because I had a 12 Pro Max before I upgraded, and I thought, oh, this is going to be maybe a downgrade in terms of the camera because it's like the regular iPhone 15. But honey, them generations that I missed, they put a little something. They put a little pixie dust in there. Because the camera eats, and then there's a cinematic mode on the.
This is me being bored because I still have an Android. Mm-hmm.
That's so embarrassing for you to admit on national podcasts, on national or international podcasts.
Yes. Speak it. We're international. We hope. Well, we are international because we talked to a nice person from Africa, and I think he followed us.
You talking about that boy that was trying to slide?
Well, I think he was just being friendly. But anyway, we're international.
That man was not just being friendly. He told us to come to Ghana.
Well, that's an invitation from
And then he lied and said that, who did he lie and say?
Burna Boy.
He said Burna Boy was his brother.
No, he said it was his cousin, didn't he?
Well, whatever it was,
anyway.
That's not his kinfolk. But back
to the phone.
Back to the phone. The phone is good. Get y'all iPhone 15. They did change the charging cable thing.
They always do. They got to sell
stuff.
So
now nothing that I had before works for me. Even my car charger, I had to order a specific one. And in your car, you have Apple Play or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Now I can't use it because
what?
I don't have a USB. And when you use like the little cigarette charger thing, it doesn't work the same. So
can you buy one?
What do you mean?
I
might be able to buy like a one that fits this phone and is a USB at the other end, maybe. But I'll have to look into that.
But yeah, that's how they get you when you get the new phone. Even when they say, "Oh, we're giving you the phone," then you got to go buy all the accessories all over again for the
exactly. Like I had to buy a new case, a new screen protector. Like it's a lot, but it was worth it.
But the phone is good.
The phone is good.
Yeah, I'm not a phone person, but I do notice the difference in the clarity of the pictures and video on that phone.
Y'all. It's
pink.
And it's like, it's not that funky, ugly pink. It's like a bubblegum girly.
No, actually, that's a pastel pink.
I feel like this is like pastel bubblegum pink for a phone.
Well, the phone itself, the little Apple icon is the bubblegum part of it.
She's just so cute. She's so friendly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, did I say friendly? I meant pretty. But anyway.
Okay.
Back onto the topics of toxic relationships.
It seems like that's happening so much.
In the celebrity world, everybody is just breaking up and hating each other, apparently. So for those of you that don't know, and I don't know the full tea because low-key I've never watched the Kardashians in my life, but I keep up with it on social media. Kim and Kourtney, they have a feud. And you may wonder why they're sisters. Why do they have a feud? There's a lot of reasons why they have a feud. But one reason that I discovered the other day while I was on TikTok and I was just scrolling about, minding my own business, I saw that Kourtney's now husband, Travis, she is currently pregnant from, they're having a baby together. Her husband used to like Kim and liked her real bad. Talked about it publicly, liking Kim. And I believe, I don't want to lie, but I believe in the video that I saw, the lady said they went on dates.
Once again, where the heck are my pearls I need to clutch?
Not just, I had a crush because it's Kim Kardashian.
So he actually dated Kim?
I don't want to lie. You know what? Let me Google.
You know what? Do some research and come back to us. Because I thought he just had publicly had a crush on Kim. And that wouldn't have been shocking because a lot of guys have a crush on Kim. She's been people's, dream girl or whatever for a lot of guys. But if him and Kim actually dated, that's a little bit horse of a different color.
Okay, so according to this article that was published in 2022, I'm just going to read the headline because I'm not going to read this whole thing. But it says, Travis Barker previously discussed dating Kim Kardashian, and now people think he actually moved to Calabasas to be closer to her instead of Kourtney Kardashian.
Now, when they say he talked about dating her, do they mean he talked about wanting to date her or actually dating her? Because that's two different things. But even with that, Kourtney was present, or he would have known about Kourtney at the time he was talking about Kim. If I'm Kourtney, I'm feeling now like he's just settled for me. That would be a problem for me. A friend would have been bad enough, an acquaintance would have been bad enough, but my sister, you had a thing for my sister, now we're going, that's not happening.
I'm really trying to find out that he moved to Wait. Oh, it says he had briefly dated Kourtney's sister Kim a year before he made the move to Calabasas.
No, ma'am.
He had also previously called Kim effing hot and eye candy after admitting to having a huge crush on her.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And he talked about this in his 2015 autobiography.
Can you imagine what family gatherings would feel like if you're Kourtney? But see, Kourtney has made questionable decisions in the past because Scott Disick, there would have been no way that I would have been involved with him because he clearly was a woman hater. Like, he treated her really bad. So now, this is a problem.
I feel like Kim Kardashian is a villain because...
What did she do? She didn't make him...
No. You know how Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe? Mm-hmm. Kim and Tristan are like friends.
No.
She was talking about how he was always there for her during her divorce and helps out with her kids.
You know what? All right now.
Kim is a look. Kim Kardashian is a villain.
See, no, I can't. Here's how it goes. Friends, okay, if I'm with somebody, I break up with them and we have mutual friends. Mm-hmm. I don't expect for my friends to cut them off. I don't, because if we're mutual friends.
Unless they really did me dirty.
Now, certain things they did to me, yeah, you need to cut them off. Because if you don't cut them off, I'm cutting you off. But family, especially my sister, if somebody mistreated me, not just we grew apart, not just we found out that, we didn't have a lot in common. Like
publicly embarrassed
me, and you still deal with them. Slow singing, flower bringing, you dead to me. Slow singing, flower bringing, you are dead.
We're not
to
sisters
me.
no more. Like, we're not sisters.
Here's the thing: if you care about me, you cannot be in cahoots with somebody that mistreats me. I stand on that.
As you would always say, you bringing the Joker to the Batcave.
Do not bring the Joker to the Batcave. You cannot profess to care about me and then sit up and kiki with somebody that tried to dog me. That means you low-key wanted to do it yourself and you're living vicariously through them. We done.
And I don't understand, back onto the Travis and Kim Kourtney situation, how do you date somebody that your sister dated? Like, that's at the point that even, for me, it's even friends. If my homegirl says, I really like him, and they actually talk to, now there's a difference between,
if they were acquaintances.
No, there's a difference between you telling me you like them, they not paying you no mind, and they want me. That's different, because that was you just being delusional, baby.
Or you liking somebody that
and it wasn't
mutual,
reciprocated. Now, if I do end up dating them, I'm going to kind of keep y'all separate because you still like them. They don't like you, but you still like them. So that can get a little bit messy.
That's true.
But if you say, I like so-and-so, and you and so-and-so go out, and then you and so-and-so talk, I'm not going to all of a sudden be like, oh my God, guess what? I like so-and-so too. Isn't that fun? You're not talking to them no more. It's okay, right? No. No.
I mean, they're okay. And sisters, there's never a time that it's okay to date.
Because that's just nasty.
With friends, if, say, follow me on this.
Don't use nobody's real name.
I'm not. But say in high school, you like somebody, y'all dated for a minute, it didn't work out or whatever. You're 18. Now we 50-something, and said person wants to date me. That's a little bit different, depending on how close we all were, depending on because there are extenuating circumstances, and you kind of have to take some things with a grain of salt. But if somebody in the last decade was dating a friend, and then they and you were friends with that person and friends with them at that time, they're off limits. And then if they are your sister, a blood relative, even a cousin, if that's a no. And if you don't have a problem dating your sister's ex-boyfriend, then you and your sister need to have some kind of come to Jesus and figure out what's going on, because that to me is a little bit bizarre.
I'm very big on loyalty. I cannot stand when people are unloyal, or I can't stand if somebody's trying to portray me as on. Like, loyalty is a big thing for me, because like 21 Savage said in his song, "I'd rather loyalty over love." Loyalty is a very big thing for me. So if you even like, there's just no way I could see myself even like being attracted to somebody else that a relative or a friend was like in a thing with. Like, because there's been people have told me like, oh, like I really like so-and-so. I found them attractive too, objectively. But after you say that, no, that's the
and here's what I say, be a stand-up person. If, say, you and a friend see somebody at the exact same time and they say, I find them attractive, but I'm going to let you know right now.
Oh, yeah, that's happened to me before.
Oh, girl, I think he cute too. May the best woman win. Now, I fully expect if we're truly friends. And here's what happens. You don't decide. She doesn't decide.
Exactly. He decides.
And once he decides, he needs to stand on that. Because whoever you pick, she is forever and ever picked.
I've been in that situation before, and I wasn't worried about it. Because I was just like, we both see him at the same time. He sees us at the same time. So whoever he wants to talk to,
that's who he's going to
talk to.
And then once he picks, he does not need to be able to go back and forth between the two of you. Like, that's a done deal. You are now forever and ever undateable.
And there's also a difference in if you were friends with somebody, but then you are like, when I say you're no longer friends, I don't mean like you just don't talk as much. Like, something happened to where you just like, oh, you shady. Like, I no, absolutely not. All bets is off after that. I'm sorry. All bets is off. If I'm not your friend anymore and like you were shady and like I don't trust you anymore and the friendship is over completely, then there's no more loyalty to like your situation.
I have had people say that's extreme to say that somebody's dead to you. Well, here's the thing. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you are my friend, if you are my family member and somebody does something dirty to you, they did it to me too.
Exactly.
And we done.
Exactly.
Now, I can be the way that I am because I am a rider. Not to say I'm going to be nasty to them. I might say hello to them. If we're in a public place, they speak, I'm going to speak back. Hey. But what I'm saying is we will never sit down and have a meal together. We are not kikiing together. They're not coming to my house. I'm not going to their house. If we're somewhere at a social event, I'm not sitting at their table. Like, Because if you truly care about someone, when they hurt, you hurt.
Exactly.
And that is how I am. So if you're ever my friend and you are loyal to me and a true friend to me, you're going to get the same thing back. If you ever show me that I can't trust you.
And also, I would just like to say, when I say that you can't like the same person as your friend, obviously if you and your friend are similar, you might look similar, you might act similar, you might have similar ideologies about things, whatever, you're going to possibly attract the same people or be attracted to the same people, even if you don't attract the same people. Mm-hmm. Don't lie about it. Like, when I say don't go off and like decide that, I'm going to go behind friends' back and like try to get her man. No, like, if you are attracted to them, fess up. Like, just say like, yeah, I find them attractive too.
And then also, if you're a true friend, because this could happen. So let's just say you meet somebody, a new person that becomes a friend of yours. You've never met their significant other, and then you meet the significant other. Cause men ain't right a lot of times. Let's just put that on the table. So he comes around, and it is obvious that he is either attracted to you or is actually hitting on you. It is your place to distance yourself from him. Don't ever be alone with him.
Absolutely.
Don't entertain that. Now, if she's your true friend and he is really overstepping boundaries, I'm going to have to tell her. Now, if I come to you,
gonna cuss you out.
Now, if I come to you and tell you and you decide to cut me off because of that, I completely understand. Vaya con Dios. Go with God. But chances are, if he did it with me, he's going to do it with somebody else. But if you know that there is any type of sexual tension or attraction to somebody else's mate, spouse, whoever, and they mean something to you, they're your friend or whatever, distance yourself. Because like you said, friends tend to have similar ideologies. Friends tend to have similar characteristics. Sometimes friends even look alike or dress alike or whatever. So it's not shocking that the same people would be attracted to both of them. It is your moral responsibility to make sure that does not go anywhere that it's not supposed to go.
And I feel like that all comes down to how you interact when people are in a relationship. When I'm very as soon as I'm told that people are in a relationship, I'm not gonna just cut you off and drop you as my friend, but I'm taking a step back. Like, I feel like, I especially as a woman, especially if you consider yourself to be an attractive woman, you need to read the room. Like, if one of my homeboys tells me that they're in a relationship, I'm not going to be blowing up your phone. I'm not going to be checking in. There's a certain way that I'm going to talk about you. If I'm talking to you, how's your girl doing? How's she doing? Am I friends? I literally just told one of my good guy friends the other day, when you get in a relationship, you need to let me know. And even if you don't want me and your girl to be besties, or if we're not going to end up being besties, I want to know who she is, say hi, be friends with her and you at the same time. Yeah. Because that's respectful. If you running around here and I don't never see your girl and people see you with me, they're going to think that I'm a homewrecker, and never that. Never trying to get that vibe. So it's just don't be out here sneaking.
I feel like if you keep everything above board.
Exactly.
And act like grown people, then you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But absolutely, it would be problematic for me to know that my current significant other, husband, spouse, boo, whatever you want to call them, used to have a thing for my sister. And I definitely would not date anybody that day. I don't have a sister,
especially
but if I had a sister,
my sister Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, because Kourtney is beautiful as well, but it's just that because guys will do this. If he saw that Kim was unattainable, or
he gonna go to the next best thing.
Sometimes guys, creepy so-and-sos that they are, will sub you in if you remind them of the girl that they really want, that they
their
can't
first
get.
true love or whatever.
Yeah, like they will sub you in. I have seen it. I talked to a guy one time that kept telling me, "Oh, you remind me of," and then it finally dawned on me. It's like, oh, so I'm the substitute because you couldn't hit her up. Like, oh, so you have to be mindful of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not trying to be your substitute boo. I'm not trying to be a placeholder for you. I'm not trying to do any of that. Kick rocks.
It's weird. Don't be sharing men like you're sharing clothes with your sister. No, that's strange.
Yeah, there's some things that are not meant to be shared.
Well, still talking about men.
Oh Lord.
Because on TikTok, it's been a growing conversation. I know you be on TikTok a little bit.
Have
you seen, hopefully I say his name right, have you seen Prayog on TikTok? the fine man that is known for being like funny and sassy and like.
Does he have a
okay, but no. He be like, it's the way you act.
Oh, no. You told
it?
me about him, but I haven't seen him. Like, I don't think I ever actually watched any of his videos.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
But he is kind of taking credit for making sassy man fine again.
Oh, okay.
Because and let me define what being nonchalant and being sassy means before I pose the my question.
Please do.
A sassy man is not necessarily somebody that's feminine, because I feel like a lot of people think like sassy is like negative or like you're trying to call a man feminine or whatever. No, a sassy man is somebody that like instead of like not really caring, not really having that much to say, they're gonna say it with their chest.
Okay.
So like they would be the type of dude to be like blowing up your phone if you don't answer the phone and being like, where you at? What you doing? Or like just like they're a lot. They're a lot to handle.
Almost like they're one of the girls, but
they're
from
like,
a masculine.
They're like your best friend and your lover at the exact same time. Okay. That's how I would describe a sassy man.
Okay.
Then there's the nonchalant.
Okay.
Nonchalant is just like nothing really bothers them. Like you don't call them all day. Whatever, shorty, I don't care. I got other things to do. Like they're more nonchalant, they're more laid back, but they also aren't as reactive. So you might not argue with them as much because they just chilling. Like they ain't stressed about nothing. So would you rather your man be nonchalant, or would you rather the sassy man apocalypse?
Ideally, I would like him to be a mixture of both. But if I had to choose between the two, I need me a sassy man. I need me a man that's going to be fun. I need me a man that's going to be engaging. I need him to be kikiing as hard as I'm kikiing when we're going somewhere. If you're too laid back and don't care about anything, or at least you don't react to things, then I'm always wondering what you think about. And I'm going to get on your nerves. Going to be like, what you thinking about? What you think about? What you think about? I need that man that's going to say it. I need that man that's going to laugh with me. You know, a guy can get my attention by being funny. Like, I loves me a funny man. So, like, yeah, I'm going to need him to be a little sassy.
You want to be that?
A little sassy.
I used to say, you know, I attracted nonchalant men. I think those days are over because I want a man that's a little sad. Have a little attitude.
And I mean, not to the point that he's stalkerish, but call me, boo. You want to know where I am?
I kind of want you to stalk me just a little bit. Like, if you really, really, really like me,
I don't want to use the word stalk, but I want him to care where I am. I want him, depending, you know, within reason, I want him to not be where I am when, you know, when he has the opportunity. Not clingy.
No, be clingy.
No,
be
that has a negative connotation.
Be
you want him to want to be with you when it's appropriate, because clingy means he wants to be with you and like you go out for a girls' night and he want to come. No, you don't want him. Or you are at my house. You know, we're projecting into the future. You're at my house. We're having a mother-daughter day, or you know, just hanging out or whatever, and then he feel like he got to come. You don't want him. But who you do want is Friday. You get off work. You want him to be waiting for you to get home, babe. What we going to do? Like, I need him to be sassy. I need him to want to have fun. Like, I don't want that couch potato that wants to sit and watch all of the black exploitation shows. Like, I don't want to, you know, he can't leave the house because he got to watch The Chi and all them other shows. Nothing against The Chi, because I love Lena Waithe. Nothing against the show, but I'm just saying he can't just be a couch potato, don't want to do nothing but sit in the house. Every time I want to go somewhere, we walk 5 steps and he's tired. No, I need an adventurous, sassy man.
I want my man sassy. Like, be extrovert. Like, I've talked to several guys before that simply did not know how to talk. And when I say don't know how to talk, I don't mean like they were nonverbal. I mean, they just did not know how to continue conversation. Like, I felt like I was leading the conversation. I cannot stand that. Like, if
I don't want to have to pull teeth to get you to talk to me.
If you can't just randomly like come out of left field with the craziest question ever, and like we continue to have a conversation about it for the next 30 minutes, and then it just is what it is, I don't want you. Because if I have to try to, like, I went to the movies with this dude one time, did not say a word the whole time, and I was just like.
That's giving a little bit psycho. Like
serial killer? It definitely gave serial killer, because I'm just like, didn't say it. We ain't going.
Especially first meeting, because that was like your first date, right? And didn't say.
We ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. Well, I told you a movie is not the shit. If you don't have a drive to and from the movie or plan dinner before or after,
this is off topic.
Is not the date.
But several people asked me this the other day because I posted something on my close friend's story where I was telling Tripora that a movie date is not a good first date.
Yeah.
And several guys were just like, why? And I was just like okay, let me explain to y'all. Let me touch y'all's hand metaphorically when I say, when you ask a girl out, unless you already know the girl, do not ask to go to the movies. Now, there's a difference between it's our first date and we've already talked to each other for a long time and we already know each other. So it's just like we just chilling and we're just
you're going to the movie to have something to talk about.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
The movie. Hopefully you have something planned for after the movie.
That's perfectly fine. I'm cool with a movie date if we already know each other and we've already talked and we already kind of know everything about each other. Like it's giving us something to do. Just we want to be in each other's presence.
Or it could just be a good movie you both want to see.
We want to be in each other's presence, whatever. But if I've never really talked to you, like let's just say I meet you on a dating app or you meet me in the mall and you ask for my number and we just like, okay, when we're going to catch up or whatever, do not take me to the movies because we're literally, first of all, if I don't know you, you're not driving me nowhere. So either you're going to have to send an Uber or I'm driving myself. We're meeting. So we're not going to be able to talk in the car. Then when we get to the movie, like, yeah, we'll be able to talk when we get in our little concessions and our popcorn or whatever. When the movie's going on, we can't really talk. I mean, obviously we can say little things here and there, but like we can't have a full-length discussion. When the movie's over, like, are we going to get dinner? Like, is the plan to go to get dinner and then we talk about the movie?
Now, so here would be an exception. If said guy, you're talking, you're starting to get to know each other, you haven't really gotten to know each other, but there's a good movie coming out, like a really good movie, everybody's talking about it, everybody wants to see it. If he invites you to go to that movie and prefaces it with, let's go see this movie and then go somewhere and talk about it after. Like you gotta, well, first of all, when we're naming what we're interested in, I don't think we say this enough. He needs to be intelligente.
Well, we need somebody.
Because like he needs to have, now he didn't have to have a college degree because everybody that went to college is not smart. And everybody that didn't go to college is not necessarily unintelligent because the two things.
He need to have a degree or a job, pick one, but you gotta have one.
He needs to have that, but I'm just saying, there are some very intelligent, interesting people that don't have college educations, but he needs to be intellectually curious. He needs to want to know about things. He needs to be curious about things. He has to have something he's interested in outside of his little world. So if he plans a movie date in a certain kind of way, then a movie date is fine, but it can't be just that.
It has to be the like first stop type thing. Like if you say, hey, like we're something nice, we're gonna go see a good movie and then we're gonna go get dinner and then we're gonna go like do Top Golf or something. Then that makes sense because we're going to the movie.
Because you're gonna do multiple things.
So we have something to talk about. We can talk about the movie and then we're gonna go to dinner. So we're not gonna be hungry. We're gonna have time to talk at dinner. And then we're going to do like an activity where we're not just sitting around being bored and then you're going to take me back on home. That makes sense. But if it's like, and I feel like too for like, that I feel like is a grown person type of date. Mm-hmm. If you still in high school or you still in college, you might not be able to afford the movie, the dinner, and an activity and the gas.
So skip the movie.
So
do something that you can afford to do, and then guys, stop letting pride mess you up and keep you from getting with women that may actually be a match for you or interested in you. Be straight up with them. If you're in college and you're on a fixed budget or limited income, say that to her.
Just tell me you don't have no money. Like, just tell me.
Just say, do you mind if we go Dutch for the first couple of dates? Because, I got student loan. No. Because everybody's not blessed the same way. So if he has, because when I was in college, I literally had friends that had to sell their books back before finals because they needed that money to eat. So everybody's not blessed the same way. So if you got to say to her, hey, my funds are low, but I really like you. I don't want to miss the opportunity to get to know you. Can we do something either where we go Dutch or can we just, hang out or whatever? My point is don't because when Barack met Michelle.
Oh, my God.
When Barack met Michelle, he did not have very many coins. And she ended up being the first lady of these here United States of America.
Love the Obamas.
So now, I say that, but also, young ladies, you can't date solely on potential. And grown AF women like me definitely cannot date potential. But you got to see where that person is. Like, everybody is in a different place. Imari can allow for growth. Me, if you in your 50s, you need to have your stuff together. If you are not if you still got to get stuff in other people's name, your light bill, your phone, if you're still having to get stuff in other people's name because your credit is jacked up, you don't need to be dating. You need to be sitting down getting your life together.
Let me explain why I reacted to the Dutch thing. I don't mind if we do something that don't even cost no money. Okay. But if you take me somewhere and it's a first date and it's obviously like we are romantically seeking to see whether we is just gonna go somewhere or whatever, you should pay.
You should pay, but that's what I'm saying. Don't add. But they shouldn't invite you to do something that's going to require you to
Don't try to take me to the exclusive latest Tampa restaurant if you don't have the money for it.
No.
Take me to Chick-fil-A.
And I'm going to find out in advance. I'm not going to assume because I've learned that's a mistake. If you ask me out, okay, are we going out as friends? Okay, and if you say no, it's a date. Okay, is it a date where
start asking them questions?
You need to ask those questions just for clarity, and that will let you make an informed decision. Because if you get me somewhere, now I'm going to always be able to pay. I'm
always gonna have my card. Like
I'm gonna always be able to pay. But if you get me somewhere and the check comes and you say we're splitting the check, I'm splitting from you. That's probably the last time. And you have not discussed that with me.
Also, I'll say too that, and it's different for every age. But like now that I'm in my post grad season, I'm looking at things a little bit differently now. And obviously, like I'm still young enough, I could date somebody that's still in school. So if I'm dating somebody that's still in school, obviously, like my standards are going to be different for them just because they're still trying to get their education. I made it out. I made it out unscathed, debt free. So I'm lucky. So I understand if you still got them student loans or whatever. We good. But if I date somebody that's supposed to have
already
a job,
be established,
already kind of be established, whatever, then I feel like you should be, because if you are a certain age, I feel like as not even just a man, but as a woman, if you can't take care of yourself, then how do you can't afford to date, babe. You can't, because
people
feel like
that can't afford to take care of themselves should not be they should not be dating because you don't need to bring somebody else into your situation.
I just feel like I shouldn't have to not go out
and have a good time
because you don't have the money for it. But like I said, that depends on who I'm dating, who I'm talking to. And also, I'm not high maintenance. That's the thing. I don't expect you to pay for my hair or my nails because I want to do that myself because I want my stuff how I want my stuff. I want to go when I want to go.
For me, personally, that's husband responsibility.
That's a husband responsibility.
That's not boyfriend responsibility. Unless he's, gifting those things.
If you invite me out to get food, then
you need to pay. You need to pay. Or tell me in advance what the situation is and let me make an informed decision.
And then sometimes I will offer to pay just because like I have my own money and like I might want to just be like, I got you, man.
I'm old school. If I know he can pay, I ain't offering.
No, I would offer.
I'm not.
I would no.
If I know he can afford to, he asked me out, I ain't offering.
I would. I would offer. Mm-mm. I mean, I have like if we had Chick-fil-A and you want to order a meal too, like
there's time. Okay, if we're if in certain circumstances, I'd be like, I got it. I mean, if
and
whatever.
I could even,
but that's not a habit that I'm going to create.
Even see myself,
let a man be a man.
Yeah, well, like, I can see myself going out and being like, I want to treat you too. Like,
I might buy him a gift.
Yeah.
Or like if we stop at the gas station, he's out at the pump pumping gas, and I go in to get a drink, I might pay for his drink, something like that. But like if we are on a date, and he asked me on a date and he should be able to pay for the date, I'm probably not going to offer.
I feel like
but I will make up for it in other ways.
Well, yeah, but I feel like if you're consistently dating the same person and he's always paying and he's always paying for lavish things or whatever, you can pay for some food sometimes.
I mean, for me, we have gotten into that. We have gotten far enough into the relationship where if he's always paying for dates and we're going to hang out on Friday night, I might show up at his house or apartment. I already stopped and got Chinese, or I already got a piece. Like, I'll do stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying he always has to pay for everything, but there's certain circumstances where I feel like he needs to establish his manhood.
Well, yeah, like
not his malehood, because you can be a male, but still not be a man. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, it took me a second to get what that meant. But, I feel like if he treating all the time, I want to treat too. I got you, babe.
Yeah, I like to surprise.
And I like to get people gifts. Like I genuinely like to get people things that I know that they'll like. So like I'm gonna have a little something for you.
Yeah.
But anyway, time for Gemini Gem as we wrap up this episode.
Yeah. Well, okay, we are in the Hollow Thanksmas season.
Finally, I'm so happy.
Yeah, we are in the Hollow Thanksmas season, and I told you on the last episode that the candy goes on sale on November 1st and 2nd, and then it'll be on sale until they, all of it is depleted. So also what goes on sale after the Halloween holiday is a lot of that makeup, that people use for their costumes. Ladies, if you like the really flashy. I don't even know how to describe it, but the
if
lashes.
you like lashes.
Yeah, like if you like lashes, but the one, because they're going to be a little bit more extreme than regular lashes.
No,
in some
sometimes
cases.
the regular
Sometimes the
lashes
regular
are
ones
also.
too. But go and hit those bins up because there's lashes in there that you can be repurposed as just everyday lashes instead of a part of a Halloween costume. There's sometimes makeup that can be purchased that was intended for Halloween makeup that you can use for different things. And or if you think that you're going to have some type of gathering or party where there's face paint or something. My point is repurpose the seasonal stuff for whatever use you have that you can use it beyond the season. So that is my Gemini.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So mine, once again, y'all know I love me a little pumpkin spice.
Oh,
I love the little pumpkin spice.
Mm-hmm.
And Publix has pumpkin spice donuts. I prefer Starbucks pumpkin spice over Dunkin' pumpkin spice. This is my preference. I feel like Dunkin' tastes more candly than Starbucks. Starbucks is more like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my pumpkin spice frappuccino and pair it with the pumpkin spice donuts at Publix. Publix on it, sponsor me.
Yeah. Actually, I think too the pumpkin muffins at Publix.
Oh, I forgot about
if
the
you
pumpkin
if you
muffins.
wanted a little less sweet, the pumpkin muffins at Publix are good.
There's like pumpkin if you go on Publix, there's like pumpkin everything.
Yeah, they do.
I
have
think
a lot
there's
of
even
stuff.
pumpkin spice goldfish now. Somebody told me that. I don't know whether that's accurate or not.
Now, whose idea was that?
I don't know, but I kind of want to try it.
Mm.
But yeah, get on your pumpkin spice wave because it's autumn, it's fall.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's a wrap on this episode. I think this is episode 10. Is this 10?
Is it?
I think it's 10.
Have we reached
We reached 10.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm like 85% sure this is episode 10.
Okay.
If it's not, y'all, I can't count. Whoopsies.
Okay, well, it's our decaversary. Okay.
It's a decaversary, you know. Hopefully this will be the 10th episode of the 10 seasons. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
Yeah.
But don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Period.
Period.